What's poppin', y'all? Welcome to another episodic installation of Above It All, the series where I talk shit about people that are more powerful than I am because I am a crybaby. So, we have a very interesting story. Two students say they were suspended from their Georgia high school for posting photos of crowded hallways. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that a very bizarre event? Isn't that just really interesting how in schools they can't mandate that people wear face masks and follow health guidelines, but they can mandate dress code, and they can mandate what you post on Twitter. Isn't that really interesting? Oh, sorry, enforcing a mask rule for our students, that's just too hard. We can't do it. We don't have that kind of power. But if you tweet something we don't like, I'm sorry, you're suspended. Isn't that interesting, that weird imbalance? And that's very cringe, by the way. It's very bizarre. So I'm just going to read this whole article because it's baffling to me. And I covered this a little bit ago of the original photograph. I made a video about that. You can go watch it if you want. At least two students say they have been suspended at North Paulding High School in Georgia for posting photos of crowded hallways that went viral on Twitter. These photos show students packed into hallways between classes, not appearing to practice social distancing and with few masks visible amid the coronavirus pandemic. They went viral after being shared by the account at Free Your Mind Kid. One of the teens who posted photos, 15-year-old Hannah Waters, told BuzzFeed News that she received a 5-day out-of-school suspension for posting one photo and one video on Twitter. Can't enforce masks. Can enforce what you post on Twitter? Again, absolute fucking insanity. She posted the above photo with the caption, "Day 2 at North Paulding High School. It is just as bad. We were stopped because it was jammed. We are close enough to the point where I got pushed multiple go to second block. Interesting language. We are close enough to the point where I got pushed multiple times to go to the second block. This is not okay. Not to mention the 10% mask rate." Waters said she was pulled into the school's office around noon on Wednesday when she was told that she had violated the student code of conduct. Okay, again, the code of conduct dictates what fucking skirt you can wear, what kind of fucking tank top you can wear, what you're allowed to post on Twitter when you're not at school or when you're on your lunch period. That's enforceable. Wearing a mask? Believing in germs? Again, think about that. The policies I broke stated that I used my phone in the hallway without permission, used my phone for social media, and posted pictures of minors without consent. Paulding County Schools has not responded to requests for comment on the alleged suspension. I'm not going to read that, but that's just the basic outline of the conduct. Another student who did not want their name used, I'm so sorry, I'm dyslexic. Another student who did not want their name used also told BuzzFeed News that they were suspended for posting photos on Twitter. It is unclear who took the first image that went viral and whether they have been punished by the school. On Wednesday, an intercom announcement at the school from Principal Gabe Carmona said that any student found criticizing the school on social media could face discipline. So not only can you not post pictures, whatever, I understand the consent with minors, I get that. That's something that, probably should be enforced, but at the same time, so should basic health and safety standards. But, if you even criticize your school, if you go on Twitter and say, man, my teacher for second period's a bitch, dude, chill the fuck out, man. How draconian is that? 1984, right? Again, free speech for me, but not for thee. That is the right-wing mantra. We can follow dress code standards. We can enforce what you say on your free time at home or on social media. That's fine. But we can't follow basic health and safety guidelines. Really makes you think. Waters said that she took photos to raise awareness of how her school ignorantly opened back up. Not only did they open, but they have not been safe, she said. Many people are not following CDC guidelines because the county did not make those precautions mandatory. Students Teachers and parents at North Paulding High School told BuzzFeed News they fear the school rushed its reopening. Despite Despite reports of positive COVID-19 cases among students and staff, classes have resumed, and students have been told they could face expulsion if they don't attend. Again, you have to risk your entire family's death, or you get locked up for truancy. God bless America. Where the rich just send their kids to private schools or homeschool them, that's fine. But the poor either die from a fucking viral pandemic or go to jail. Reminder, Kamala Harris supports jailing truant parents. And people think she's in the running for vice president? Bitch, please. One teacher resigned last month over concerns for their safety when classes resumed. The school district has also chosen not to enforce mask wearing, calling it a personal choice, even though the CDC now recommends their use. Waters took a tally of how many students were wearing masks in her classes and posted it on Twitter. In every class, fewer than half of the students wore them. Waters said she wore a mask all day except for at lunch. So you can read this, pause the video if you'd like, whatever. I think my punishment severity was excessive, but I do understand that I violated a code of conduct policy, she said, adding that this was her first time being reprimanded by the school. We have a progressive discipline system. When disciplining me and the other student, they skipped level 1 and went straight to 2. Interesting. Michael Tafelski, senior supervising attorney for the Southern Poverty Law Center's Children's Rights Project, urged the school district to immediately reverse and remove the suspension from the students' records. Children do not waive their constitutional rights in school, and the district abused its discretion in suspending these students, Tafelski added in a statement. It could not have come at a worse time, as families are struggling to cope with the social and economic pressures brought on by the pandemic, including the abrupt school closures in March that disrupted the education of thousands of students. Waters said her family plans to fight the suspension. Update: Waters said North Paulding School principal has reversed her suspension. She will go back to school on Monday. Now, again, is that really a good thing? In all honesty, like, free vacation, right? But again, stuck between a rock and a hard place. Parents have to choose, do I go to jail? Do I lose my kids? Or do my kids bring home a deadly disease and kill my parents and my husband and my wife or my siblings? God bless America. Isn't that the American dream? It's so stupid. The world that we live in, all of this is preventable. Don't let anyone ever tell you that this is the way things have to be. Every single thing that's happening and every single thing that has happened since the pandemic started has been a choice. Those in power have failed on all fronts. Local municipalities, schools, state government, city government, federal government, every form of authority has failed in every single way to fight this easily preventable pandemic. Don't let anybody ever tell you that it is what it is, or this is the way it has to be. Because no, this was optional. This was all a choice. It's just, we don't live in a democracy. We live in a corporatocracy. And guess what? The rich people don't give a fuck. They don't care. Because it's only the poors that are affected. The poors can't afford homeschool. They can't afford childcare, and they have to send their children to school. It's either that, or they go to jail, or lose their kids. God fucking bless. What a shite fucking country.